All right, let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. Write the equation of the circle. So all we need are two things. We need the center and we need the radius. So if we look at this circle, I really wasn't that nice. I didn't give you the center, but you should be able to find it. If it's ever difficult, I'll have a dot there for you. So you just need to figure out what this ordered pair is. Again, base it off of the origin. There's the origin right there. And so it's going to go to the left 2, -2, and it's going to go up 1. So the center is -2, 1. Okay. Actually, from there I can go ahead and start my equation. So I've got x minus -2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals, all I need now is r squared. So let's go ahead and go back and figure out what the radius is. Remember, the radius is the distance from any point on the circle to the center. So I could have gone up, I could have gone to the right, I could have gone down, or to the left. This one's pretty easy. You can just count those spaces. There are 3, so the radius is 3. So when I come back down to my equation, I'm going to write 3 squared. Now I just need to simplify this. Remember, a minus minus just becomes a plus, so I've got x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 9. And there's my equation. Notice that this is why it looks like the x and the y, or the h and the k values are the opposite from what they are in the formula. Let's try another one. Take a look at this next example here. I was a little nicer here and I put some points on the circle for you to reference. Here's the center, right there. Figure out where that is based off of the origin. So the origin's up there, so the center goes to the back, or goes to the left 3, so -3, and it goes down 4. So -3, -4. And again, if you want to, you can go ahead and start writing your equation. So you've got x minus -3 squared. Yes, you could just go ahead and write x plus 3. Plus y minus -4 squared. Again, you could just write y plus 4. And now we just need to know what r is. So I don't know the radius yet. Let's go back and take a look at the picture. Pick any one of those 3 points that I gave you. Doesn't really matter which one. There is my radius. Not quite as nice as the last one, where you could just count the spaces, so we're going to have to do a little bit of work. Yay! Alright, you've got a couple options here. The first option is using the distance formula, which you see I just wrote there. If you remember the formula, great. It's really not that bad to use. You would just have to find the ordered pair of the center, which we already know is -3, -4, and I'm going to pick this point right here where I just drew in my radius. So that would be the point 0, -2. If you choose to do the distance formula, again, remember we're looking at the center, which is -3, -4. The distance, which is going to end up being the radius. Notice there's no plus or minus because distance can never be negative. We're going to just subtract the two x values. So I've got 0 minus -3 squared plus -2 minus -4 squared. And I just got those from my x, y values. Okay, so then the distance is going to be 0 minus negative becomes 0 plus 3. So 3 squared plus, that becomes plus plus, so I've got 2 squared. So 3 squared is going to be 9. 2 squared is 4. 9 plus 4 is radical 13. So the distance is radical 13. Now, I want to point something else out, and maybe remember this from geometry, because I know a lot of the geometry teachers did this, where they went back up to that radius and they just made it into a right triangle. Remember, if you use a right triangle, you can use the formula a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, the Pythagorean theorem. So the radius is going to be c, and a and b are those two sides, so you just have to count 1, 2, 3. The first side is 3 squared plus the second side is 2 squared, and that's going to equal, go ahead and just write r squared because that's the radius. 9 plus 4 is 13 13 is equal to r squared. Square root both sides and we figure out that r is radical 13. Now, all we really needed to figure out for the formula was r squared. So if I go through and rewrite this formula, I've got x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals r squared, look right there, is 13. And we are done. Yay!